Welcome, everyone, to yet another spooky Halloween special. We're back. We're back on the hill with all the ghoulies and goblins of all the Halloweens of the Medfield College Film Society. So, of course, you must meet all the society members for this spooky and, may I say, truly horrifying evening ahead. We're going to start with a brother of mine, a man who introduced me to the source text we're working on tonight, and I have to blame for my personal nightmares, Mr. Michael Crawford. What is your costume tonight?
Ooh, get out. I am a spooky spook. That's all I got.
That's all he got. Well, that's an interesting costume for that. You look more like
I'm a floating disembodied head.
Yes. And, of course, Mr. Andy Brown. What are you wearing tonight, Andy?
Fire! Fire!
Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Ah, where's that in the Marvel franchise?
I don't know.
And the president himself, a man of many Halloweens, Robert McSwain. How's it going? Robert Halloween McSwain, they called him back in grade school. How's it going tonight, Robert?
I think I went as Bill Clinton
I
back
remember that.
in grade school. Yeah.
I remember that.
Maybe I should bring that one back. That's pretty
That
spooky.
you went
Good.
as
It's evergreen.
Phil Hartman as Bill Clinton.
Yes.
Yes, it was Phil Hartman as Bill Clinton. Yes.
Going through and eating people's French fries at a McDonald's.
Hey, you should have got this little
Warlords.
warlords. That's right. Well, gentlemen, I feel like there are milestones in our podcast. There are movies we've tried to avoid for as long as possible, and their dates come along. They all come due someday, and this one is no exception. Michael, what are we watching tonight?
You've got a very formative special film
Yes, quite.
this evening. Formative trauma enabler. The 1985 Disney classic, Return to Oz. The sequel to the uplifting, happy, fun, sunshine, candy cane 1939 film, The Wizard of Oz.
Scrub
Surely-
here, scrub there.
Yes. Surely we'll be hitting the yellow brick road again with all our friends.
Yeah, they got a bunch of songs, I'm sure. They're going to have
yeah.
all kinds of technology and wonderful.
Big show-stopping number at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to have it all. I mean, people are a beloved family classic for all these decades. You got to have something strong to follow it up, right?
And I remember them it was like an event every year. They would show it on broadcast television.
I was
TV,
just about to
yes.
say, it was like,
Probably still do.
one of the most famous movies of all time, because every year it would be a big event. They would have it on TV and like everybody would watch it on the same night.
That's
Crazy.
marketing. Yeah, and Michael, you were an Oz an Oz head. I've become an Oz head in later years, reading to my children. But you were an original Oz guy, Oz reader.
Yeah, I was super into it. This movie did not scare me away from it, amazingly, although it scared me away from many things. Yeah, I was super into. I was in there's like the International Wizard of Oz Guild of like Oz scholars. I was like real
Michael,
young.
I've known you, how many years now?
A long time.
At least,
the years
at least
almost.
46.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I never knew you were
Really?
how deep into the Wizard of Oz you were.
I was super, and I mean, this was when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
But had like all the like Del Rey paperbacks and all that stuff. Was super into like the lore, and it was like pre Lord of the Rings like lore obsession, I guess.
Yeah. And back when you didn't have enough Star Wars lore to live on all day.
Right. It was in the Star Wars drought. There wasn't anything anything going on that front. But yeah, this movie, well, first I'll start off by saying, speaking of Star Wars, directed by Walter Murch, who is better known as a very famous, a legendary Academy Award-winning editor and sound guy. Came up very tight with George Lucas and with Francis Ford Coppola. And in fact, during the production of this movie, he was behind schedule, and he was kind of having health issues, and he got fired for a little bit. And Lucas and Coppola were like, no, you got to take him back. And Lucas said, if he can't finish the movie, I will do it for him. I'll finish it. If you let him come back and he can't do it, then I'll do it. So he's tight with, like, he worked on like THX 1138 and American Graffiti and all that stuff. So anyway, it was written by Walter Murch and Gil Dennis. It was executive produced by Gary Kurtz, who executive produced a little film called Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Stars Nicole Williamson, Jean Marsh, Piper Laurie, and introduces Fairuza Balk as Dorothy. Gives some special shout outs to music by David Shire. I really like this soundtrack. It's weird but interesting. Whole movie's weird but interesting. Claymation by Will Vinton Productions, probably best known for the California Raisins, soon to occur after this movie. And this movie has kind of a fascinating history going way, way back. Walt Disney, got the rights to the Oz books. Like, as Jeff alluded, there are a ton of Oz books. I think the original run is 13 or 14? One of those. And then there were a bunch written by other people after. But Disney bought the rights to the everything except the first one, which was made into the movie at MGM in 1939. Walt bought the rights to those in the 50s because he was going to make Oz content. And in fact, there's an episode of the Sunday evening show from, I think it's the 4th anniversary show, so that would be like 1959, where he's like introducing the cast. He's like, we're going to make a movie called The Rainbow Road to Oz. And it had like Annette as Ozma, had all the Mouseketeers as different Oz characters, and they were going to be in this musical Oz movie. Never happened, but Disney held on to the rights. In the 80s, they were about to lose the rights if they didn't use the rights. They're like, let's make another Oz movie. So this happened, and it is based on the second and third books, which were really good. The second one, which is just nutso. And so that's how we got this movie.
But it wasn't. I thought it was never intended to be an actual sequel. I thought it was, and that's what hurt it. But people went in thinking that it was a sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it actually wasn't.
It's not a sequel to the movie Wizard of Oz,
right? And I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, it's based on the second and third books. It is actually way closer in like tone to the books than the original movie is.
That's
the old
what
movie
I was going to say. There's a lot of closeness. This is seems closer to me to the books than the original movie does.
That's what
especially in some details and the aesthetics too. I mean, it's like a lot of the art direction is straight from the illustrations of the books.
Yeah, like the design of like the Tin Woodsman and the Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow look just like the illustrations in the originals books. And I remember going to see this in the theater, and I think it was probably before I really got into the books that I saw this, but I expected it to be like a sequel to the movie, or to be similar to the movie.
It's called Return to Oz.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's a good point. And like, I remember it was the same feeling I was thinking this as I was watching. The same vibe as Ghostbusters 2, where you come back and everybody's like a big failure. Like everybody who you loved in the first movie has like failed massively and is just kind of horrible. And it's just kind of a bummer. and it's kind of a weird experience. But then later when I read the books, I'm like, oh, this is like just like the movie. Like all this stuff that we're going to talk about comes from the books, and the books are like way more violent and dark than the musical that we all think of when we think of it. Crazy stuff, guys.
Andy, have you ever seen Return to Oz?
I had never seen Return to Oz. I had heard many people talk about it. And when I told a friend that I would be doing this, he kind of gave me a little bit of information about it. But boy, I was that person that came into this thinking, oh, this is going to be a direct sequel to the MGM movie, until I talked to a friend of mine. But then, so it was just kind of, I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's a fever dream.
Yes.
That's what I kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been kicking around the idea of putting this movie into the rotation really since year one of this podcast. And I watched it. I thought, well, I'll watch it first. And I was like, no, we're not ready. And then, I mean, after, I guess, going through the Touchstone stuff, I thought, well, you know, we're going to do Ron Miller. This is a Ron Miller joint. This falls into Halloween beautifully. Let's do it and find out what happens. So here we are.
Yeah. And I should note that the production of this movie spans the transition to Eisner. And it was when the new team came in that they fired Walter Murch, and we're just kind of like gonna go another direction. But he came back. But yeah, it started as a Ron Miller and wound up one of those Eisner Silver Screen Partner babies.
And so bizarre to think about, you know, okay, what do we got in the hopper? What's in production? Let's take a look at the dailies.
Well,
yeah, yeah. I remember I saw it in the theaters, and I remember when it came out, the press. I have a distinct memory of seeing it like on the Today Show, them talking about it.
Wow.
And like having one of the actors that played it, and he was talking about his experience and how insane it was on set, and just so yeah. I mean, and I remember thinking that this seems weird. This doesn't seem like the MGM Wizard of Oz.
And you were right.
And
I mean, you can tell right from jump. It's like what Andy was saying, you know, it's expecting a sequel, then you turn it on and it's like right from the beginning, it's like, this is way different.
Yeah. I think I told Jeff that because I met Jeff yesterday for lunch, and I think I said that. Yeah, they set the tone right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it really failed. It was a abysmal box office failure.
Yeah, but it's kind of become a cult classic, and I read that it did well overseas, which I enjoy. I just find that funny. I just
see that.
Oh, this Oz movie is very upsetting. I love it. But yeah, it's kind of had a second life as time has gone on, which is funny.
Well,
I spoke with. I'm on a video shoot this week for work. And as I often do when I'm on these shoots, I speak with my crew who are fans of the podcast, and they ask. I told them what we were watching tonight, and they were all excited. They were big fans of this movie. So
nice.
Yes, it has a second life, definitely.
Well, I think we should return to Oz. What about you guys? Anything else to say before we get into it?
Return to Oz.
That's right. All right. Well, Robert, you got us into this mess. Get us further into this mess by taking us into Oz itself.
We open with some suspenseful music as the camera pulls back from a window with the stars shining bright. And we see Toto and Dorothy looking out.
We also get the old Walt Disney Pictures logo. This has got to be one of the first ones, I would
According to Wikipedia, it was the first one.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, good call.
And
there's like no music, though. It just
it was
shows
before they added the When You Wish Upon a Star stinger to it. Yeah.
That Walt Disney signature that's not really real.
Yes.
The first time I remember seeing that is on that sign for the Carousel of Progress at the World's Fair.
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
see it anywhere else for a long time, right? And then it's just everywhere
all
still,
over the
right?
place, yeah.
But yeah, pushing that new logo.
So in comes Auntie M. Seems Dorothy's having some sleeping problems, and her uncle is looking at an article. And if the movie needs to set the tone for how dark it's about to get, how about some electric shock therapy to get us off the ground here?
Yeah, it's like, yep, I remember this movie as it is. My memories are still correct.
But the thing that, right off the bat that confused me was, I was like, why is Dorothy so much younger now? Because again, I'm coming from the original movie. And so, she was Judy Garland was like 16, late teens. And here she is, like 10 years old kind of a thing. And it's just like, what's going on? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's like really jarring now as an adult to see it, and as a kid, it's just like whatever. But like now, it's like wow, she is way younger than Judy Garland was.
And I didn't realize that Fairuza Balk had started this early. I was like, hey, that's Vicky Valancourt.
Vicky Valancourt.
See, I remembered her from the Best Christmas Pageant Ever, which was it was a made-for-TV movie.
Oh yeah,
and I'd seen her from that, and then I recognized her from that.
A heck of a book too, man. That was a good one. Vicky Valancourt.
So money's tight, and they don't want to pay to send Dorothy to the doctor, despite M saying that they can get the money from family.
That's charity.
They don't like charity right here. Dorothy is out tending the chickens, and her chicken, Belina, who happens to find a key that says Oz. And Auntie M is dismissive, and rightly so. I mean, I might add the Oz on it. It seemed a bit like a stretch. It looks like an O with an X through it to me, but
totally ruined everything.
Yeah. So again, like we said, times are tough, and Uncle Henry isn't being much help. He's just hanging out on the porch of this half-built house, and Dorothy is insistent that her friends are in Oz and they are in trouble, and she needs to get to them somehow.
But I thought it was interesting how they were like, it's been 6 months since we lost the house.
Yeah.
It was like a Christopher Nolan Batman realism take on Wizard of Oz. It's, if you hadn't read the books or anything, all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we're going to get the gritty version.
Yeah.
Where it's rooted in some sort of reality.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, now we got a mortgage. We're going to have 2 mortgages. I was like, well, they never talked about mortgages in the old movie. She's like, and Henry says he hurt his leg, but he didn't really, blah.
So M and Dorothy set out for the doctor because M needs Dorothy to get better. Kansas sure is a bleak place and looks nothing like Salisbury Plain in England, I might add. They come to Franklin, a town with a population, I believe it said 19 on the sign.
Franklin.
And they keep on moving. At the sanatorium, Dorothy is telling the doctor about Oz when he asks the logical questions about how she got back and the ruby slippers and et cetera, et cetera. Dorothy conveniently lost them on her return flight. So the doc pulls out this electric shock thing, box, and Dorothy asks if it will hurt, and he laughs, which is always a bad sign, I think, when your doctor laughs when you ask a question.
Yeah.
He says, oh, no, it's not going to hurt. No, yes.
Where is this room? Like in reality? Is this like a soundstage, or is this like...
I had to have been like a real place, right?
Can I go
like
there?
They shot on location, yeah.
It looked really nice.
It was a nice room. It was.
I mean, like
this
what
guy
happened
is like
inside of the room.
Yeah, he's like a science, like turn of the century science guy. He's like, electricity makes everything better and will chase the demons out of your brain.
Yeah. So as Michael points out, the doc's rambling about a new age, the dawn of a new age, and the miracle of electricity. And then behind the doc, she sees a mysterious girl in the window looking at her. M leaves, and a warm, welcoming woman in black dress walks in, and M heads on back to the farm.
It's Queen Bavmorda from Willow.
Oh,
yeah, Gene Marsh.
Okay.
The bad guy, the bad
Good
lady.
call. Good call. Man, she had a run there.
Yeah.
So we get lots of creepy imagery as they walk down a dimly lit hall with squeaky gurneys where Dorothy is left in a dusty room.
Man, why is it so dusty, yo?
I don't know. That's why I said it seems that the age of electricity hasn't given way the decent cleanliness. But,
they haven't hit that stage of carousel of progress yet.
I mean, what the heck is going on? What is happening?
Just the Foley for the gurneys is so upsetting. It's like everything's upsetting.
Yes. Seems maybe it's symbolism. We'll see. I don't know.
What, Andy? What were you thinking at this point when they're on the
I was like,
sanatorium?
okay, here we go. Here's the crazy part that I think I've heard about, and and so I was, when I could kind of course, when Gene Marsh showed up, and then like the orderly, like they just all had this look. Everything was kind of even though it wasn't bright colors, everything was kind of more positive. But then all of a sudden, everything got really dark, and I was like, oh, here now we're starting to go down this rabbit hole.
It's like Arkham Asylum in there. It's not good.
Yeah. But then here in a second, though, I really do have a moment where I'm like, this is a Disney movie. This should not have been a Disney movie. This should have been something else.
So Dorothy's watching out the windows. M leaves on her buggy. She turns around, and there's a blonde girl in her room, just standing there. We don't hear her come in. She's mysterious. She hands her a pumpkin and leaves. And when they hear groaning down the hall, a storm starts to roll in, and we're treated with more creepiness, like ceiling lamps gently blowing in the breeze in a breezeless room. Just that normal stuff. More squeaky gurneys and dramatic camera moves as the door opens to the scary woman, and she offers to take her for a ride.
Yeah, when the girl shows up, she's like, here, this is for you. And Dorothy's like, okay. There's no, who are you? How did you get into my room? There's nothing like that. It's just like okay.
Halloween's almost here. Yeah, sure.
It's dark. I mean, like literally so dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They strap her down under protest to the gurney.
This is when the head said, this is a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
They wheel her down the hall where the doctor says nothing to worry about. Again, there's plenty to worry. There's plenty to worry about here.
Yeah. The answer to your question is raised by my T-shirt. The answer of whether there's something to worry about is
the least of which is the lady in black dressed that seems to be enjoying all of this way too much. She's like has this like smirk on her face.
Mm-hmm. Good. Excellent.
Strap her down. Good. Yes. Is it working? Suddenly the power goes out as more moaning can be heard. They leave her alone as the storm rages, and suddenly the blonde girl is rescuing her and warns her of the patients in the cellar that are damaged.
Which is an amazing line. They're like, yeah, they got all these damaged people down in the cellar. I'm like, oh, jeez. That's nice.
Yeah, lovely. They make their exit into the night as the storm rages and the staff give chase. They follow into a river and are washed away, grabbing onto debris. Dorothy ends up alone in what looks like an old wooden pallet of some sort.
Pallet life.
She wakes up to a talking chicken named her chicken from earlier named Belina, who can now talk. Suddenly the vast ocean they are floating in has turned into a puddle surrounded by a desert. Off in the distance is a green oasis backdrop.
Oh, I'm sorry to roll back, but I missed saying this during the flood when they're getting washed away. there's a real banger of an organ score. It's like this, like Captain Nemo's like on the organ playing this score in the background. It's so dark.
And going back to that, I couldn't figure how they shot that. If that was on a sound stage, or like how did they accomplish some of those shots in the flood? But
before Captain Duck, they had to do it the hard way, I guess. Anyway, sorry. I was just I was like, that's kind of some cool scoring. It was like totally dark.
So Dorothy recognizes that where they are is a deadly desert. She says she flew over it when the house was coming in the first time, and seems to know that everything that touches the ground turns to sand. So they rock hop to the grass as one of the stones looks on.
Sorry, was that in the original MGM movie? I know it was probably in the book, but
it's in the book. One of the funny things watching this now is how many times she has to, like, Dorothy explain things that are in the book but not in the movie. She's like, oh, this is the thing. I totally flew over it, and it does this. It's just like, yeah, just trust me. It was there.
How about that rock?
That rock, so good.
The rock is just really good.
Yeah, the animation was cool. It was kind of weird.
Yes,
very
really
weird.
Cool stop motion stuff in this.
Yeah.
They come to a lunch pail tree, and in the background, and the rock is looking on.
As a kid, I thought this was like the most brilliant idea. I'm like, why? Yeah, why wouldn't there be like a tree that grows lunch pails full of ham sandwiches? Yeah.
Yeah, she opens the lunch pail. It's just the red lunch. She likes to find a ripe one first, which I thought was clever.
Yeah.
And opens it and it has a ham sandwich inside.
What's an unripe one got in it?
Who knows? A soggy ham sandwich, maybe.
Egg salad.
Ugh.
We cut to a scene where the rock is speaking to someone it refers to as Your Majesty. The animation is kind of reminiscent. I thought I was looking into it. I couldn't find any connection, but like the stuff we used to see on Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, and that may have been Will Vinton too. So it may have been the same studio.
But it was like claymation, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was it actually drawn. Okay, yeah.
So we get a dark voice that says, "Good, keep an eye on her." And the sinister voice is angered by the news of this chicken. So evidently there's a chicken problem in Oz.
Chicken?
And say that again.
There's a chicken problem in Oz.
Thank you.
Okay. They stumble onto Dorothy's old house and find the yellow brick road is in ruins. And this is I think as a kid I remember going, this isn't a sequel. That's not Munchkin Land.
Yeah.
You think they filmed this at the Land of Oz?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
It definitely had to have had that feel, yeah.
It did.
And for our listeners who don't know, there's an Oz-themed abandoned amusement park in North Carolina that's still there.
Very much like this, much like this.
Yeah.
And Michael, I'm assuming you've been to it?
I'm not. I never. It was like when I was a kid, it was like walled off. Like it was like legendary, but they didn't have events up there like they do now. But I'd like to go sometime for sure.
So I think I've never been. They open it once a year in the spring, I believe.
Yeah.
So
this just made me nervous because Dorothy goes like running really hard down the brick road. I'm like, it's like the Peter Griffith holding your knee thing when you fall down. I was like, this is going to end badly. Don't run on the bricks. Come on.
So the Rock informs our villain that she's on her way to the Emerald City, and he mumbles they won't get past Mombi. And I had to turn the subtitles on at that point because I couldn't understand what he was saying. But
I was just so confused. I was like, "What is going on?"
Oh, it's confusing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because there's different elements. I mean, there's confusing and there's also creepy parts.
Yeah.
And so I mean, there's and so when you're combining all this, you're just like, what? And so you're trying to keep up and you're trying to understand what's happening. And I feel like honestly, I thought I had missed something. I was like, what did I not understand maybe in the movie, the first movie or something? Yeah. So yeah, it's not a good feeling as a viewer to be watching a movie like that.
It was pretty funny. And I noticed at this time that throughout the movie, because I mean, nobody we meet or encounter until the very, very end was from the first movie. Like everybody she meets, everything is new. Like all the good guys and the bad guys, all new.
Mm-hmm.
And so like everywhere she goes, she's like, well, I don't remember that from before. And she says that like 5 times. It's pretty funny. Like, yeah, this wasn't like that. Yeah.
So Dorothy gets into the Emerald City rather quickly, or it's at least
about
she
that.
yada-yadas that real fast.
Right. This is the whole first movie, and then now we're just looking across a large plain, and there it is.
100 yards later down the path, she's there. Yeah. And Emerald City's not looking too good, guys.
Yeah, so it's a little smaller and horizontal too.
Sorry about Dresden. Yeah, much less lofty.
The city's full of statues frozen in action, and we see a "Beware the Wheelers" sign spray painted.
Yeah, that's another I don't remember them moment. Wheelers? Who are the Wheelers?
I didn't see any Wheelers when I was here.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting the Wheelers to actually be on wheels.
Man, there's a lot you don't expect about the Wheelers, isn't there?
So that was that's like the thing I remember. I mean, that's what they were talking about on the Today Show was the Wheelers, and they were interviewing one of the Wheelers, the actor.
Wow, it was like that same guy in the same voice.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, luckily he didn't have the same voice, but yeah, he was talking about how they had to train forever on it. Him and the others, and I found a behind the scenes video on YouTube talking about them practicing it and showing them practicing using it, and how they had to like learn all new muscle movements and how insane it was to have to master that.
I would bet.
I couldn't figure out how they did it because you think you would immediately your front wheels would want to fly out and your rear wheels would fly out.
Yeah, right.
But I couldn't figure out how.
I mean, I would just like face plant immediately. I'm sure they had just like acrobats and stuff like that. Cirque du Soleil people.
So yeah, let's introduce the wheelers. So we hear the sound of gurney wheels squeaking again, and strange figures ducking in and out from the ruins. And she finds the 10 woodsmen and the cowardly lion frozen as statues. And just then, a strange creature emerges on wheels, and they're all wearing these helmets with faces on them.
It's very scary helmet.
Yes,
scary, so scary.
So the wheelers, as they're called, these dudes are wearing brightly colored jackets with 4 wheels on their arms and feet.
They came from Hill Valley 2025.
Yes.
They talk like they're from Hill Valley, exactly.
And they also reminded me, you remember that 80s cartoon? It's called Turbo Teen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As the guy turns into the car, he has like the wheels on his hands and feet.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So the Wheelers chase Dorothy into a corner, and she uses her Oz key to open a stone door and escapes. They exchange words through the keyhole, and they tell her that the Gnome King hates chickens. So we've established this again. She turns around to find a copper man out of like some sort of a steampunk dream, is how I would describe him. Mm-hmm. She finds some instructions on his back and turns some wind-up keys, and he starts to come to life and introduces himself as TikTok, and said that he was left there to wait for her. So it seems the Scarecrow had the foresight to send Dorothy a key to open the stone door that would lead her to TikTok. He vows to be her servant and help her on her journey. And thank God this ends this act for me at this point.
I know there's a lot of like puppets or whatever they were using. So I think I saw some in the credits. It said I saw a Henson.
Yeah.
So I would assume there's some sort of Jim Henson connection there.
Yeah, Brian Henson was one of the puppeteers. Yeah.
Okay. But then I I also saw that a name that I'd seen before, Tim Rose, who was Admiral Akbar in
Oh, no
Star
way.
Wars, and he was he was, I guess, one of the puppeteers or for TikTok.
Yeah, they had a
That's
guy in
wild.
that suit. I saw that too, and and he was like in this weird like crouching position, and I think he had his arms down in like the legs or something. I can't remember how they were doing
Weird. Yeah, it would be hard because like TikTok's legs are kind of splayed out, and
it.
they're
Yeah,
George Lucas
was
is
an
like, I know a guy, I know a little short guy.
I believe he was an acrobat, and they stuffed him inside that suit, and he was able to move the legs.
That's
And they did it
crazy.
different back then. But the design is so cool of TikTok.
Design, I love TikTok's design. I think it's so cool, and it's like all his facial expressions are mechanical, and it's all puppetry and stuff.
Yeah, he has sort of like this World War I kind of
Yeah.
doughboy kind of feel to him.
Mega dough. Well, off he marches down the hallway with Dorothy and Belina following. No wheelies in sight. TikTok sees the desolation of Emerald City, and soon enough the wheelies show up. Wheelers, whatever they're called. TikTok tells Dorothy he will take care of them and starts rotating around and bonking all of them with his arms. Wheeler says, "You'll be sorry. About this, I'm a terrible person."
So this is an interesting predicament.
The worst thing about the Wheelers is the laugh. I mean, all of the bad things, the laugh is the worst. Not just any tune.
TikTok was by far, in a way, my favorite character as a kid.
Oh,
And I distinctly
gosh.
remember this scene.
Yes, totally.
Beating
This
the
was-
Wheelers and just being really like applauding in the theater.
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
wailing on them.
It's like, man, is the movie going now? Like that we've got to TikTok? Is TikTok gonna carry the movie? Well, it's a lot to carry, man, he does his best, doesn't he?
This is very Last Starfighter Death Blossom effect.
Good call.
Oh, good call. Yes.
Yeah.
Dorothy asks the Wheeler where the Scarecrow is and what happened. Wheeler says the Gnome King came through and destroyed the city and took all the emeralds. And only Princess Mombi knows where the Scarecrow is. But who is Princess Mombi? Wheeler's afraid of her, but takes them to her, at least to her tower. And then he Krusty the Clown's off. Mombi doesn't appear to be at home, but Dorothy pushes through the emerald gates regardless. We hear some music within. We see something akin to the Biltmore house, but everything's dusty. And we enter a hallway of mirrors with some synth mandolin playing and a heap of fabric on one side with an M-shaped door. Guys, what are you thinking about the set dressing here?
Some crazy production design, and I love it.
It was impressive.
I love you mentioned the dust, so I'm glad you did, because like TikTok has these like giant round feet.
Yes.
And he leaves like round footprints when he walks.
love
I'm like,
that.
how difficult was that to rig?
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. I was admiring that. I also wrote in my notes here, TikTok is awesome. Why can't this movie be good? The heap of fabric, I guess, is Mombi playing the mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks like she's out of the Never-Ending Story. She's wearing a very spiky
Yeah.
dress.
She's got crystals coming out of her. Yeah.
Dorothy asks her if she's Princess Mombi, and she yawns and says, "Help me to rise." And so Dorothy does. Mombi says she wants to put on something more appropriate. Dorothy asks where the Scarecrow is. No response. Mombi takes Dorothy to a room that looks like Main Street, USA, but there are a ton of heads. Good Lord.
Yes.
And they're all looking around in locked boxes. What on earth?
Yes.
Yes.
Guys, this is what I will never forget and never forgive. And I'm going to kick it back to Andy. What did you think when this started happening?
I was thinking, I'm glad I'm 46 years old watching this movie instead of much younger, because I think you're right. This would have given me nightmares.
This is not cool, man. This is not cool for me growing up.
No.
Didn't like it.
Like I was thinking,
So-
I was 8, okay, and this is, I mean, all the things I remember from this movie are first thing, the electroshock, second, the Wheelers, third, this. It's all like super traumatic.
I managed to block all this out of my memory, but there was this. What was the name? Was it the Grapevine? There was this movie rental place in Boone when I was in school,
Yeah, the Grapevine. I remember.
and they had this movie for rent, and I hadn't seen it since the theaters, so I rented it and rewatched it, and that was the first time I'd seen it since I guess a couple of weeks ago, and this scene freaked me out. Like I was like, I have no memory of this, and no wonder because it's traumatic.
Oh my god.
And it gets worse.
Oh, it gets worse. Well, she says number 4 will do this afternoon. Takes her head off, puts it on a stand. Her body goes over and picks up another head. Why?
Great effect, though.
It is an amazing effect.
Yeah.
Head gets held to the side, and the body asks, "What do you think?" Boy, yeah, I remember all of this so very, very well.
Yeah, me too. I will say one thing as an adult, which I obviously wouldn't have like paid attention to at all as a kid. And one thing I appreciate about a lot of this movie is that they're all like, all of the heads are done up very like Gibson Girl. It's all like period specific to the time it should be in the real world at the time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They're all like very Main Street USA Gibson Girl ice cream kind of hairdos and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't under my seat crying this time, so
Yeah,
I was able to see
I
other
agree.
things.
Yeah, it's very nice set dressing there too. Mombi says the Gnome King took also just the kind of costume design of Mombi to allow for the head changing. She's
That
got
really
this little
high neck collar.
necklace. Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, Mombi says the Gnome King took the scarecrow with the emeralds back to his mountain. Mombi says she will be pretty one day, so she will put her in the tower, her being Dorothy. Mombi says that Dorothy will be pretty one day, so she will put her in the tower and lock her up until she's pretty and take her head. Well, Bellina comes in with... Yeah, I know, wow.
I laughed here because she's like, I believe I will put you in the tower. And Dorothy says, I believe you will not, which I thought was a good line.
Bellina comes in with TikTok and it's mayhem, but TikTok's action ran down already. You know, they got to work on this action. He's frozen and Bellina and Dorothy are on their way up to the tower with Mombi leading the way. She shuts them upstairs in a room that also kind of looks like it's from the Neverending Story, but like the school part.
Yes.
Except it's very fancy.
Can I point out that I believe that's a real chicken they're throwing around in that scene?
Yeah, they had real chickens. And I will say that they also had animatronic chickens, which were doing the talking. The animatronic was really good, I thought.
was.
It was.
They can do chickens, man. They can always do chicken.
They can do chickens, but they did have, I don't remember how many I saw they had. They had like dozens of chickens on set for like different skills, I guess.
I mean, compared to the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, this is light years ahead.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah, we've always got to compare it to the cat from Sabrina the Teenage
As you do. I will say at this point, I thought this movie moves along pretty fast. Because we got to Oz, we got to here, we got to Mombi's thing. We're moving along at a pretty good clip.
Especially versus like the first scene, which is just like mud. It's just like, not the first daytime scene in Kansas. It's like, what is happening? Yeah, much faster now. Dorothy looks out the window and see the Gnome King's mountain across a broad landscape. In the room they're in, it's just a bunch of junk and dust again. They really love the dust. As if all of this wasn't creepy enough, we hear, "Mom," and we see a jack-o'-lantern with a body. It's none other than Jack Pumpkinhead, whose mouth does not move and has a rather echoey voice. Andy?
I did not like this. as we've established, I'm not a fan of ET, and this was like bordering kind of like into that kind of feeling of like,
pretty.
all right,
see that.
I'm a grown man. I'm a very large, strong grown man, and I don't like this.
I am a man.
And it's a shame because Jack, the character, is very lovable. But
Yeah.
pretty creepy.
And this is Brian Henson. Brian Henson does the voice and the puppet.
Okay.
There you go.
But
there you
why the whole mom thing?
go. Mommy?
Are you
Yeah.
my mommy?
That was just weird. I mean,
Just a little bit.
it's not. I mean, it's not just one thing. It's like the combination of all these little things just make it so creepy.
Yeah.
It's it's well documented on this podcast that I torment Andy, and one of the only things I did that I regret was tormenting Andy with ET often in college.
That's
You ever did it a little bit?
Funny. That is hilarious.
But yeah, I definitely can see what you're saying, Andy. Yeah, it's uncanny valley. I don't know what you call it. It's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Anytime there was a hug with Jack Pumpkinhead, I was like, oh man, it's gotta be really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
For the huggy.
Those stick arms and
Well, I watched that behind the scenes video. I watched it. They interviewed Brian Henson, and he talked about how he was in the suit with his human head showing, and he was doing the movements. And he said because of how the puppet version worked, he had to mimic how the puppet reacted. So that's why the movements are so jerky, and because he said it was just the nature of the puppet itself.
well, it makes sense with Jack because he's like ramshackle to begin with.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Right.
I will say, like, all this stuff, the puppetry and stuff is pretty seamless. Pretty well done.
It is. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
The puppets in this are insane.
Like another movie we've done for Halloween, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This seems to have had like a major influence on that.
Oh yeah.
And I wonder, because Tim Burton was working at Disney during the period that this was made, and that I wonder if he had any sort of crossover with this at all, because it obviously, the first thing I was thinking of was Jack the Pumpkin King.
I mean, he had to have
definitely.
loved this movie, right?
I'm sure he did. Yeah.
If you had told me this was Tim Burton's Return to Oz, I would believe you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Dorothy ties his arm on and leg. He asks her again if she's his mommy. Jack says his mother built him to scare off Mombi, and when he saw Mombi, she was scared, but then angry. Jack says she put some powder of life on Jack that she got from a magician, and here he is. He says she may have some more powder of light in cabinet 31 right above her original head. Dorothy looks around the room and scouts a few things and comes up with a plan. Jack reaches through the gate, barring them in, and opens the door. Jack and Dorothy sneak into the Hall of Mirrors to help TikTok out. Jack can't get over this mom thing. Asks Dorothy if he can call her mom, even if it isn't so. Not now, dude. Chill out with the mom stuff.
Daddy loves leather.
Get to TikTok, make their way up to the attic, and begin to construct a contraption with a chase long, some palm fronds, and the head of a gump. Well, we gotta love a good gump.
Good. Get that gump head. Gump it together.
Gump. Dorothy is off to get the key to Mombi's head lair, and of course it's tied to Mombi's hand. Dorothy makes her way up to the Hall of Heads. Good God, they're all sleeping. What the heck, man? What the heck?
The headless snoring Mombi was pretty upsetting.
Man. Oh, boy. Number 31, her original head, looking for this life powder. I don't see a head in it. Oh, snap. It's inside. There's the powder. A little startle music cue there.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy goes to grab it and knocks over something like, "Buh!" and the head goes, Dorothy Gale, and all the heads scream, and Mombi's headless body comes running after her.
Oh, my.
Guys, this is one of the worst scenes we've ever had to deal with on the podcast, and maybe one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Just this head screaming, man.
The head screaming, yes. That.
I mean, what about the body just running around?
Yes. Like the headless. This is like the most messed up, like Doctor Who episode or something. I don't know what's going on here.
Not good. Not good.
It is terrifying. You got the body like lurching around and all the screaming. And
that music is so intense too. It's just like.
So when I rewatched this, thinking that we might show this in the podcast, I got to this scene. I turned off. I was like, no, we're not ready. I just stopped it there.
Andy's too young. He's too
He's
young.
too young. That's right. He's not ready.
I'm not ready now.
I mean, this is not a kid's movie. I mean, what are we doing? Why are they doing this? Return to Oz.
Let's all go back to our
Return.
handy dandy dreamland.
You've seen The Wiz, right?
I mean, I get that it's closer to the book. I get that, but still,
Doesn't mean it should be.
Somebody thought that was a good idea. Someone said, "Oh yeah, this is going to be great," and someone said, "Maybe we shouldn't do this."
Yeah, this is the Miller time, man. Miller was swinging hard for the fences.
It makes me think, because I didn't watch Community, the sitcom Community, but a friend of mine who I respect talked about it with me and said that they were on the verge of cancellation, and the writers were just like going for it, is what he said. They were just doing all kinds of crazy stuff just because they thought, why not? We're going to get canceled. Yeah. And it makes me think it was Ron Miller going, oh man, I'm probably going to get canned. So why don't I just greenlight this thing? What's the worst that could happen to me now?
Let's go for it, man.
To me, it seems like, he wanted to make more adult stuff.
Success.
But you just wonder if like Oz is the right franchise to do that with. If it's like, maybe you shouldn't have the decapitated. I mean, and there's it is source material. I don't know, man. Also, like, what the heck was wrong with the late 70s and early 80s? This is what we were born into, guys. So this is the world we were born into. Our
generation is the best.
Yeah, that's true.
Drinking from the hose, watching the headless lady run around.
Yeah, here's a movie. Go watch a movie by yourself and get scared to death for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
And
I'll drop you off.
Hose some more.
We're just riding around town later. Yeah, exactly. Ride around town with our bikes, no parents. Return to Oz.
Parents are playing the baby boomer edition of Trivial Pursuit off somewhere.
Watching 30-something on ABC.
Watching 30-something on ABC.
What was the with Linda Hamilton? What was the
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. That was but I guess it was late 80s. But
still,
yeah, that's of the era for sure.
But you had the same. Was it the same year you had the Never Ending Story, which was nightmare fuel as well?
Love that one.
And Labyrinth was pretty dark.
Dark Crystal.
Yeah, Dark Crystal, yeah.
Dark Crystal.
It's all of a piece for sure.
So
the good old
days. New wave music.
I just say that Mombi herself, the head is so terrifying, and like her, like it's like the head itself could kill Dorothy, and like Dorothy reaches for the powder and she like tries to bite her hand. Like, man, that's
I love
crazy.
Dorothy getting by the body though, because the body's just like fumbling around.
Yeah, she just kind of jukes it. Yeah,
she's just like whoop, 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 whoop. Anyway, here comes a little wisp. It looks like Glinda, the good witch, but it's not. She disappears. Anyway, she helps Dorothy find the way up to the others.
Where the heck is Glinda during all this?
I was wondering the same thing.
Come on. Yeah, where is she? TikTok's brains run down. Okay, can we just wind him up for a good, can we wind him up for 5 minutes?
One day we won't even have to crank. I loved like his like gibberish stuff that he was saying. Though. That was
Yes.
pretty good.
Dorothy pours powder of life on the contraption, including the Gump head, and says some words of incantation, and the Gump comes to life. Man, okay, here's another thing about my childhood. Talking taxidermy. That ruined me for a long time. I think I subconsciously thought every piece of taxidermy was going to come to life. Between this
You
and
a
the Country
Gump?
Bears. Yeah, are you a Gump?
Well, they had the
Bears,
talking
man.
moose at
Melvin the
Melvin,
Moose.
yeah, Melvin over at Fort Wilderness.
Yeah, I had it all. It's all over the place. There's talking. George Harrison's "I Got My Mindset on You" music video.
Love that video.
Then the Billy Bass, the singing Billy Bass.
And the Billy Bass. What's going on here? Quit playing Trivial Pursuit and come home. Anyway, Mombi's body puts her original number 31 on. She's on her way. Gump is starting to wave its wings, and the good guys are on their way out the tower and flying or dropping. They finally do take flight. You know, someday there's going to be a movie that doesn't have the dropping, and we made it motif. But I haven't seen it yet.
They're just going to take off and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
From this to
That's
GoldenEye
easy.
to Captain America. It's a go-to. Also, there's a shot
Con Air.
of Mombi when she comes busting out the Con Air. Yeah, she comes busting out the door, and it's like really crazy backlit. It's a great shot, but that's the one that they used in like everything, like commercials.
yeah,
and
you're
stuff.
right.
Like, sell that movie, baby.
And that was interesting. You're right. And I could never figure out what the movie was.
Right? Yeah.
Because it was not like indicative of the rest of the movie, really.
Yeah. It was not very Oz coded.
No. Yeah, palm fronds might have thought of something different to use for the but yeah, I want to know what that room is. That felt like another location shot. It's like the Victoria and Albert Museum or something. I don't know. It was cool.
The Gump room.
The Gump room.
The Gump room. There we go.
Mombi wakes up the Wheelers, tells them to go get Dorothy and the chicken. Back on the Gump, he asks what I am. I love the Gump self-actualization.
Yes.
They're like, you're a thing with a Gump's head. Dorothy is cashed, man. She's just chilling on the Chase lounge. Jack says, good night, Mom. Give it a rest, Jack. Find a different tune. Meanwhile, back in the mirrored hall, Mombi is playing her synth mandolin again. She get her head right. She sees a specter. Is it Glinda? No. Mombi says her name is Ozma, so we get our first Ozma shout out. She appears to be stuck in the mirrors. Mombi laughs at her and says, there's no one to help you. No one knows who you are. Ozma of Oz, that is. We know who she is.
I was like, who's Ozma? I was
who's Ozma? I don't get it. Ozma is perhaps more prominent than Dorothy in the books. Michael, what did you say?
You're right. Like Dorothy, like pieces out pretty quick in the books,
Yeah.
and it becomes an Ozma show. Yeah,
It's an Ozma show. Maybe they were trying to do that here. Maybe they were just trying to blow it up. We don't know. Anyway, back on the Gump thing, Wheelers are hot in pursuit underneath. Some of the Wheelers fall into the deadly desert and are immediately turned to sand. That was kind of neat.
that was a great effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a knot is slowly coming undone on the thing that was hastily put together. And as the thing flies off into the night, we wonder, will the ropes hold? Time will tell. Stay tuned for Act 3.
Well, the next thing we know, it's morning, and Dorothy wakes up to discover the rope's coming loose. The Gump's taking a dump. He's falling apart. It's a rough scene. Belena's like, wake up. And she wakes up sort of in the middle of this thing falling apart, and everybody's trying to keep it together. Jack loses his head overboard, and we get like a head falling away. Oh, no.
Come on, Jack. Come on, get it. Jack is like more lovable in the books. I read a lot of Jack in my recounting to my son, and he's just not doing great in this film so far. Momming it up, dropping his head. Come on, man.
Hold that on. Anyway, they have to do a crash dive to save him. They go into free fall, basically, but they catch up with the head, but Gump falls apart, and they all go like plummeting through the sky individually.
I love that the Gump is like a moose that's green.
Yeah. That's just what makes a Gump. So down on the Gnome King's mountain, it's all snowy cliffs and things. It's very Matterhorn. The couch lands with a plop on a snowdrift, and then Dorothy lands with a plop on it. This was a hard fall for whatever Dorothy's stunt actress was.
Yeah, seriously.
Right on the caboose.
It hurt my back just watching that.
Right?
My spine compressed.
Yeah. And they get like a massive like dust cloud comes out of the couch when she lands too.
Dust again.
The dust is a motif, very much so. Anyway, all the characters come down hard, but luckily they're all in the same place and mostly intact. Jack's head lands on his spiky neck, although it's upside down at first. But everybody's there. Everybody's all right. And they're at the Gnome King's mountain. So the king hears racket, wants to know what's going on. So he sends one of his cronies up to see what's going on. The gang's trying to figure out what to do with the Gump, who's all in pieces. And the Gump's like, I'm all right. You guys just, whatever. You don't need to put me back on the sofa. I'm good. They're like, no, you got to have a body if you're going to get around. He's like, where am I going to go? So the crony goes back to the king, says, Dorothy Gale is here, and she has a small army. Is the chicken there? And the crony didn't see Belina, because Belina's kind of chilling in Jack's head, and he's like, no, the chicken isn't there. So the
Get with the chicken, man.
Also, Gnome King, very master program from Tron.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good call. That is a good call. Yes. Oh, he would have been great as this. Warner would have been great as this. Anyway, who took my chicken? The chicken isn't there. The crew's putting Gump back together.
Right, hang on. Let me say something. I would take Who Took My Chicken like so many times more than this right here. Because, yeah.
Herbie's funeral versus the Screaming Heads.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Who took
I mean...
This is pretty bad.
That's where we are now.
Yeah, that's right. I want to take
to the scene where they push the Gump off a cruise ship into the ocean.
Oh, brother, man.
So, the Gnome King's face appears on the side of the mountain. He's like, why have you come to my kingdom? Dorothy's like, I'm Dorothy, and this is the gang. And the king is like, oh, the famous Dorothy Gale is here. And she's like, yeah, I came to free the scarecrow, so why don't you give him up? So he's like doing this little bit about, oh, so you think if someone steals something, they should give it back? That's your opinion on the matter? She's like, yeah. He's like, well, that's ironic. So he's like, well, what if somebody takes something they don't want to give it back? She's like, well, in that case, I'm here with my army to conquer you and force you to give it back. Which I like her spunk. She's got moxie.
Oh yeah, she's getting her sea legs here.
But what's this guy's deal? What's the Gnome King's deal?
What is his deal? That's a good question.
He's you know how gnomes are.
Especially the
All right.
kings.
Kings. Yeah.
Especially the king. I mean, he's a king for one thing.
Kept
He's a
wondering
gnome.
what his deal
David
was.
the gnome was never like this.
It's
For the
true.
rest of the movie, I kept wondering, what is his deal?
What is a gnome anyway?
Can't tell what makes him laugh and what makes him mad. It seems like it's going to do one or the other.
It's
This
well
is
known
great.
for
Wait,
being
what happened,
bipolar.
Bob? Yeah,
Yeah.
truly.
So anyway, he laughs at her threats, and then there's like a rock slide, and then the ground opens up beneath them, and Dorothy goes falling into the void. She's kind of falling through the Horizon's Omnisphere video of crystals forming.
Man, except it
And,
looks so bad. Bad.
It's part that and part like Willy Wonka boat tunnel
Yes, very much that.
footage, and like Superman as a baby flying to Earth.
Yeah.
And what about science? Science.
What about science? So the king like gives her the backstory as she's falling, says that all precious gemstones in the world are made here in my kingdom. And he's like, imagine how I feel when someone comes and steals my valuables. Says all the emeralds in the Emerald City belong to him. So he was just taking back what was his in the first place.
Oh, that explains it all.
That is his motivation. Dorothy has another hard landing, and she kind of skids down the wall into the floor and skids into the Scarecrow. And they're like, what? But he instantly
Okay.
disappears in a flash of light.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. The Scarecrow.
But the Scarecrow?
Yes.
Yeah,
God.
I agree. It's pretty freaky.
He's
Dead-eye.
way more... Well, he's not like dude in makeup like the old movie.
No.
It's like Teddy Ruxpin stuffed animal like
It's
face.
more like creepy funhouse.
Yeah.
Version
Yeah.
of a
A little bit of
Scarecrow.
clown in
Yes,
there.
too clownish.
So he vanishes. Gnome King's like, the Scarecrow is the real thief, and I just turned him into an ornament for my palace, which I had been meaning to do for a while, and I just didn't get around to it, but I did it now. Dorothy's like, well, the Scarecrow never stole anything from you. The emeralds were already there when we got to the Emerald City, which is why they called it the Emerald City when we went there. The king like just disappears, and Dorothy starts crying.
So
this- yeah.
the king is going to change a lot, which I'm sure we're going to get to. But
Yes.
the first iteration of the Subterranean King, which is like the giant rock face, I thought looked really, really cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
I thought that looked amazing. Really. Like it. Yeah, I thought the claymation in that version was cool. And then I'll be back
Come the storm.
with more minutes.
Yeah, well, the way the claymation was done was really good, and then how it was composited in the thing, it didn't look like it was like blue screened in or whatever.
No, it looked really good.
It looked
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. So Dorothy's crying. This apparently gets to the king. He sticks out like a rocky hand, kind of comes out of the wall and pats her on the head. So
First
cry.
rocky hand.
He's like, I didn't realize Scarecrow meant so much to you, and I know just the thing to cheer you up. So he waves his hand, and so all the friends from above come skidding into the room. Like, we're all going to play a little game, and I bet you can get the Scarecrow back. So the Wheelers, meanwhile, don't forget about them. They're at Mombi's palace, and she tells them to escort her to the Gnome King's mountain because they got to warn him about the chicken. Guess I'm going to take it a chicken. Back to the Gnome King. He's looking more human by the moment, as Jeff indicated. Every time we see him, he's slightly more human looking.
The eyes, though.
Yeah, the eyes. His
Oh,
eyes go
man.
from like holes in the rock to like glass eyes in the wall. Yeah,
And that is a major error, I would say. It just gets really bizarre.
Yes.
Really strange.
Went down to like the animatronic shop and stole some glass eyes. Yeah, it's weird. So he's like, all right, we're going to play a game. Each one of you gets to look at my collection of stuff, and you get 3 guesses. Each one of you gets 3 guesses as to which of my ornaments is the Scarecrow. So what you do is you touch the ornament, you say Oz, and if your guess is right, the Scarecrow will be restored and you can all leave. And so they think about it. And TikTok's like, yeah, we have no other choice. He's like, this guy is a powerful magician. Just got to roll with it because we really have no other choice. And Dorothy's like, all right, we accept. So a portal opens into a hallway leading to the ornament room. I like how they do it. It's like hands come out of the wall and claw open this like passageway.
That's really nice.
So Gump goes first, shuffles on down, and while they wait for the Gump to choose, the king provides some snacks. Makes some limestone pie and hot melted silver. Dorothy seems to like really dig it, which raises some questions about her. But she's into it. She likes that limestone. And finally, eventually, TikTok, of all people, gets around to asking what exactly are they risking in this game?
TikTok, man.
TikTok is on it. TikTok
He's
is on
it. But everybody else needs to turn their brain screws, maybe.
Yeah, apparently. Well, right as he asks the question, there's a huge, loud thunder and a strike of lightning. The king's like, next. And the portal opens back up. So they're like, what's going on? He says, the Gump failed to guess correctly and has thus become an ornament himself. He's now part of the collection, too.
That poor Gump, man.
They are indignant. Dorothy is like, well, that's not fair. You didn't tell me that part of the deal. He's like, well, you didn't ask. And fair enough. And he's like, I could always send you to my fiery furnace instead. And we get a push of fire.
And like the most Captain Nemo of the whole movie.
Yes. Yes, totally. So anyway, Jack Pumpkinhead goes in to choose. Dorothy tells him goodbye. They have a little goodbye. And she's like, bye, Bellina. Because Bellina's still in Jack's head. And so we cut away. Mombi has the Wheelers hitched up to a car like sled dogs.
Weird.
Whipping them along. They're going through a tunnel under the desert. It looks like they're going to the Temple of Doom or something.
They look like they have helmets on. So you see their faces, but then if they lower their head, their helmets have another face.
Mm-hmm. It's like a
gargoyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like it.
So they're back in the cave while they're waiting for Jack to choose. TikTok's talking about, like, Jack's a great guy, but I don't have much hope because he's kind of an idiot. And they're like, yeah. So Dorothy, he's like, wind up my ThinkWorks because I'm going to be doing a lot of thinking in there. So she winds him up good. And sure enough, Jack strikes out. And the Gnome King, who is looking very human now.
What in the world?
So weird. He sends in TikTok. He's like, all right.
Is this when he's smoking the pipe with the crystals inside of it?
Yes,
I thought that was
got his, like, yeah.
Very 1980s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So TikTok goes. King's like, so Dorothy, why'd you come here in the first place? Like I told you, it's for my friend. Like, oh, really? Are you sure it's not for these? And reveals that he's wearing the ruby slippers, the very fancy ruby slippers. He's got them on under his little robe. And Dorothy, like, makes a move to grab him. He's like, nope. They're mine. Says they apparently fell out of the sky one day. Says they're so powerful, they allowed him to conquer the Emerald City. These slippers are more than they seem. I will point out also that of all the stuff that's in this movie, Disney owned the rights to. They didn't own the rights to the ruby slippers because in the book, they're silver slippers, but MGM changed them to ruby slippers. So MGM owned the rights to the concept of ruby slippers. So they had to pay MGM like a ton of money to get those shoes. So anyway, maybe magic.
I guess to make it like really pop off the screen, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining if it's like, oh, these silver slippers you remember would be even like weirder. Yeah. No. Those aren't the right slippers. I'm willing to go with Gump, but not with.
Yeah. I'm ready. The child can be electrocuted, but not the slippers.
Leave the slippers as they are.
I thought they were ruby slippers. I could have sworn they were ruby slippers. No, they're silver.
This far, but no further.
Man, yeah. also Neverending Story, the rock person.
Yes.
Just like
Got strong hands.
very different vibe, but yeah.
Very different, but very similar with I could see him smoking a Sherlock Holmes pipe with like a coal inside. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, all of a sudden one of the king's cronies shows up on the wall and whispers in his ear, and it turns out TikTok has frozen up in the middle of the room. He's carbon scoring all over the droid. He's frozen up. So she's like, well, his action dial must have wound down. So the king's like, well, go ahead and wind him up and then just stay in there and guess yourself. So Dorothy starts to go, but she hesitates. King's like, oh, you don't have to go. I can use the slippers, send you home. You would never have to think of Oz again. He's
some real Temptation of Christ stuff going on.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It's like, forget your friends. You can't help them now. Just go home.
Call the angels to swing down and save you.
Yeah. She's not having it, though. And she goes off to choose. So the Gnome King turns out to have a very fancy gallery full of all sorts of knickknacks that looks like it came out of Naboo or something.
Or like a Kubrick film.
Or a Kubrick. That's a good call. Yeah. So TikTok is there. He's frozen up.
Dave Bowman's there.
Dave Bowman's there asleep in a bed. He's old, too. There's a baby in the ceiling.
That's right.
So she goes to wind up TikTok, and he's like, no, don't do that. Just hang out. He's already wound up. He's got a plan. He's faking it to be frozen.
TikTok, guys.
TikTok, man.
I'm saying TikTok.
He's all over it, man.
He's the hero of this movie.
She's like, what you're going to do is I'm going to make my last guess. And when you see what I change into, it can give you a clue as to what the others are. Which TikTok, that is really smart.
This.
And initiative. I approve. Disney makes all these animatronic characters around now, and Galaxy's Edge. Oh, we got droids walking around. I want a TikTok walking around somewhere.
They need a TikTok, man. Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, he and Dorothy have a moment. He gets a little oil tear come down his cheek, and he makes a guess. The lights go out, and when they come back up, he's gone, and there's just stuff everywhere, so Dorothy can't tell what he turned into. So that plan didn't work, but good initiative, good hustle. So Mombi and the Wheelers have arrived outside, and they're kind of at the gate crony, and they're like, we need to see the king. It's important. So Dorothy makes her first guess, and it's a strike. And she's just kind of lackadaisical in her guessing, let me say.
Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Indiana
so
Jones, you'd be dead by now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gnome King is big dog in Mombi. He's like, kneel down. So she kneels. He's like, no further. And so she gets down with her face on the floor. He's not a good boss, this Gnome King.
Typical.
Dorothy strikes out on guess 2. She is not trying hard. And Mombi's like, oh, listen, you got to listen. The Dorothy escaped. She's headed this way. The King's smug. He's like, she's like, oh, she's already here, isn't she? And he's like, yes, we're playing a game. And she's like, well, why didn't you just transform him from the start? He's like, well, that wouldn't be as fun. So Dorothy, for her last wish, has picked a better option than her first pick. So she's spinning around with her eyes closed, kind of reaching, grabbing at stuff at random.
She would have been killed immediately in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a vase fit for the Son of God. She chose poorly twice. Anyway, Mombi's with the king. She's like, well, what if she wishes correctly and finds out about Ozma? And this really triggers the king. He's like, you haven't let Ozma go too, have you? That'd be smart. Letting Ozma go. You already did this. Mombi's like, no. Ozma's good. Ozma's
Chill.
Like nobody knows. Nobody's ever going to find out.
Yeah, nobody knows, especially Andy Brown. He does not understand anything.
Andy still doesn't know. Don't worry.
Yeah. The secret is safe.
You know, the king is like, well, that's great. Soon there will be no one who remembers Oz, and I'll be completely human because that is also happening.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing.
So Dorothy's stumbling around and she gets her hands onto a ginormous emerald, which, you know, probably if she'd been looking around and trying her harder, she would have.
I know. I was like, come on.
Idea.
Come on. We couldn't. I mean, yeah.
Oh, this giant emerald. So she touches it and says, Oz, and turns into the scarecrow. She's like, well, you were green. So maybe everybody from Oz turns into something green. And since she guessed correctly, the king is freaking out and he's yelling at Mombi. Scarecrow and Dorothy are like running around the room looking for green stuff. So she saves the gump.
Never thought I'd feel bad for Mombi.
Yeah, I know. Mombi's really taking it from both sides here. He is like tearing into her. I was like, it's your game, dude.
Dude, you're the game
You're losing
guy.
your own game. So the king is really losing it now after Save the Gump. He's also turning back into Rockman. Every time we see him, he gets rockier and rockier. And he finally gets mad and just poofs Mombi into a cage, kind of summons a cage out of nowhere. And so the room where they are in with the trinket starts to shake. There's an earthquake in the treasure room. Everything starts breaking. Vases falling around. The lights go out. The floor cracks. The walls are caving in. It is a quest perilous. Only at the last moment does the scarecrow manage to do a nice little bit of outfielding and saves a green vase from breaking when it falls off of its little pedestal. And they Oz the vase and it turns into Jack. And just then the wall like collapses and there's an enormous gnome king yelling at them to stop. Well, he's got like the flames of hell behind him as he's yelling at them.
This is really losing me when he tears down that wall. Not that I don't know what version of Had Me it was at, but it goes to like 50, like beyond 11 to like 50, like, and the glass eye stuff. It's like, what is, it's like the NTV, like interstitial things or like, it's just so weird. Like the quality.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That, like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Playhouse, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe Gnome King's related to Penny.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Instead of like glass eyes, he could have pennies in his eyes.
Penny eyes, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he's like, stop it right now. Like, I am tired of this game and I'm tired of all of you. And then he grabs the gump, like rips the gump apart and eats the sofa that is the gump's body.
The gump, man.
Gump is taking the worst of it. And like everything's on fire. The gang makes a break for it. The king is like, gnomes, and summons his army of gnomes, which appear out of the walls like gargoyles. Also terrifying. Very angry gargoyle gnomes. As finally the king grabs Jack and is getting ready to eat him and like hanging him over his mouth. We hear Bellina. She's still in Jack's head and she's clucking and she lays an egg. The egg rolls out of Jack's head in a very like, put your penny into the thing for charity and watch it spin around kind of way. And it falls out of Jack's head and into the mouth of the Gnome King. And everything goes quiet. Like the gnomes go quiet, the king goes quiet, everything goes quiet. Turns out, well-known fact, eggs are poison to gnomes.
I don't know. Poison eggs is a plot device.
Hey man, everybody knows. I mean,
it is known.
If you got an egg and you've got a gnome, you know it's not going to go well.
Witch in water, man. Yeah, everybody's got to have their own thing that completely destroys them. That's kind of a normal household item.
He's ovo allergic.
Yeah, severe egg allergy.
Severe egg allergy. I warned you. King isn't looking so great.
Man, what the heck?
King turns into like a rock skeleton and then explodes.
It looks like something you would have drawn, Michael.
It does.
It's like, rah, rah.
Yeah. He explodes and is kind of like a pile of rubble. And at the last moment, Dorothy sees a glint of the ruby slippers, so she runs and grabs those. The ceiling's falling in. It is like fall of Khaleesi time here at the big citadel. And Dorothy like puts on her slippers and she's like, I wish it's all back to Oz, and also that everybody in the Emerald City comes back to life, and also that everything's awesome. Which a way better job at fixing things than Tony Stark did in Endgame, I'll have to point out.
True.
Because he just brought everybody back but didn't like fix anything. But Dorothy's like, I got it covered. I'm going to fix it all.
She thought about it.
Yeah. So we see all the people in the city come back to life. All the headless ladies thankfully come back to life with their heads on. Nice touch. Tin Woodsman, Cowardly Lion, they're cool. Everybody's good. And the gang gets transported back too. And even Mombi's there. She's in her cage. Still. But Dorothy's like, oh, we didn't get TikTok. Oops. Left him. I never found him in the collection. But Belina's like, no, check out the Gump's antlers. There's a medal hanging from it. So it's like a little army medal. So she Ozes it. Sure enough, TikTok's there. Everybody's safe. Everybody's good. See the Emerald City shining over the horizon. So they go and find the 1893 World's Fair. And things are hopping here. There's a big parade with everybody getting celebrated. TikTok gets his C-3PO shine up.
I said the same things.
Yeah, same deal. Gotta say, I thought the look of all this stuff was really cool. It's very vintage, and it's kind of got like ragtime music playing in the background. So
it's very Victorian, yeah.
Very Victorian, yeah. Sort of City of Lights kind of thing.
Art Deco Oz. That's the other one.
Very nice. So we go to the throne room. Scarecrow's like, it's Dorothy, the Queen of Oz. And she's like, oh, you're all great friends, but I have to go home. Jack's like, we understand. Dorothy's like, I wish I could be both places at the same time. So her shoes start to glow. She turns around and sees everything's mirrored. The walls are all mirrors. So she sees the mystery girl from earlier in the mirror. The girl's like, help me step through the glass. And Dorothy helps her step through the glass in a pretty cool effect. And the girl's like, I'm Ozma. Which freaks unlike Andy, everybody knows who Ozma is, because everybody's like, oh my God, it's Ozma. Especially Jack, who's like, Mommy, that's my mom. That's my real mom, which like burn on Dorothy.
Shut up about it.
Yeah. You're not my real father. One of Mombi's former head girls, who is there now, she's like, this part made me laugh more than like anything in the movie. She's like, that girl is Ozma, the rightful Queen of Oz. Her dad used to be King of Oz. Then she gives like a giant old exposition dump, where she explains most of what happens in the second Oz book. She's like, she was Mombi's slave, and she grew up Mombi's slave, but then she did this, and then Mombi got mad and did this to her, and then that's why she's here, and she's the queen.
Yada, yada, yada.
I'm like, that is a hilarious way to explain what is going on at the very last minute. It's great stuff. I'll also say the second Oz book is a real trip, and like the reveal of Ozma's identity is a crazy twist.
The second Oz book is the Super Mario Brothers 2 of Oz books.
It is, because it starts off, you're like, well, who are these people?
Yeah, it's so weird. And then the third one's like a return to form, but some of the stuff in the second one's really formative, obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Lots of ahead of its time themes, I feel. Anyway,
yes.
That's very well put, Jeff. That fully gives me a complete understanding of exactly what you mean, saying it's the Super Mario 2.
Yeah. And then the third book is Super Mario 3, pretty
It's
much.
true. It is. Yeah.
It's like the stuff you like from the first, but extra.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway, Ozma's like, well, I'm the queen, so I'll take the throne. Dorothy's like, here are the slippers. Let me put them on you. Ozma's like, I'll keep an eye on you. If you ever want to come back to Oz, I'll make it happen. Lena's like, I'm staying here in Oz because I'm not going back to Kansas because it sucks. She's like, Kansas is dumb and I am not going back.
So all right, let me ask a question. I don't get what Blina's deal is. Because Belina was before just a chicken, but then all of a sudden is now in Oz and that can talk. So was Belina? It felt like Belina was just kind of like a chicken that kind of became some sort of character when Dorothy first arrived in Oz. But it sounds like maybe Belina was something else back in Kansas. I don't know.
She was at least aware enough of stuff because she like commented on a couple of things like this is like that whatever back in Kansas, but
Yeah. I don't know.
who knows?
Okay.
It would be funny if she was like sentient the entire time.
Yeah. Just couldn't talk.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you're getting a terrible mortgage on this house. You should do much better.
Not the insane asylum.
Electroshock is a fraud.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, all right, Dorothy, bye. And Dorothy's like, hold up. I didn't mean I have to leave right this minute. They start to give her the rush. They're like, all right, see you later.
Right. Peace.
The light fills the room. She's like, oh, it's getting bright. And I have like CTE and And so we come back. It like goes to white and then comes back. And Dorothy's laying in the mud beside a river. We hear Toto barking. And he comes out and he finds her. And Uncle Henry's right behind. And they've kind of had the posse out looking for Dorothy.
They use this weird first person Toto cam.
Yes. It's like
Yeah.
to go back to Neverending Story, the wolf, the killer wolf from
Yes,
Neverending Story
yes.
coming through the forest at her. Yeah. Yeah, so everybody's happy, despite the fact that they're in Kansas. Aunt M's like, oh, the clinic was hit by lightning and burned down, and everyone was saved except the doctor. He went back to save his machines and was killed,
Huh.
which is a fun little button for the movie.
Yeah.
I love
I
it's
mean-
like the first thing she tells her. She's like, oh, it's all good. He's dead.
I think she's just trying to distract her from like pressing charges on Auntie M for like,
That's right.
There you
Child
go.
endangerment.
child endangerment. Yeah.
We see Dorothy looks up and sees as they're all like talking, the mean nurse from earlier / Mombi is being carted off in a paddy wagon for some reason. I don't know what actionable she's done. Maybe she burned down
Sneering.
the place. I don't know.
She's locking people in the cellar clearly that were damaged.
Oh yeah. That's true. Concealment of
survived.
damaged people. Yeah.
Illegal knowing looks.
Yeah, I know. Imperious tone. So Dorothy gives her a little stare down. It's like a suck it nerd stare down. And we go back to the house. Things are looking more complete. Henry's finally gotten off of his backside and fixed things up. Dorothy's in her room being pensive. Kind of looks in the mirror and she's like, Ozma. So Ozma appears in the mirror. Dorothy's like, Aunt Em, come look. And Ozma's
Oh my
like,
God.
shut up. And shushes her and disappears.
Did you
M
guys,
shows up. Is like, what?
I was just gonna say, Uncle Henry. Did you guys recognize who that actor was?
No.
He's the bartender from Back to the Future 3.
No way.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
also he's in
okay.
like a bunch of those. He's just like an older guy. He was in a bunch of westerns, and so
That's perfect.
yeah.
No, I totally didn't catch that. That's hilarious. Nikkei. Anyway,
That's right.
Aunt M says it's too nice to hang out inside, so they go out to play, and we reach the end.
Whew.
Mm.
Man, good Lord.
And then everybody calls their therapist and books an appointment
That's right.
for electroshock.
Is this movie better or worse or the same? To start, let's discuss that. Andy, you don't count. Okay. Then you remember it. Anybody?
I will say I enjoyed this a lot. It is totally demented. There are inexplicable choices left and right. If I had not read the books, I had no idea what was going on. I would have no idea what was going on, and that would be a whole different game. But it moves really fast, and it's really, really weird. It is not boring at all, I don't think. So I enjoyed it because it's just one of those things I could watch and be like, I can't believe this got made, and it's just pretty fascinating, I think.
Tell you what blew my mind was when I found out that the Wheelers were canon.
Yeah, right?
That's part of the books.
Really?
Also, I noticed in the credits that there were lady Wheelers. There were women who were Wheelers as well. So that brings up, that's a whole interesting concept in and of itself. Lady
Were there
Wheelers.
child Wheelers?
It just raises lots of questions.
For me, I remember, I think, Michael, you said that, I don't remember what movie it was we watched, but you said it was weird enough to show to friends, but maybe not weird enough to watch on your own.
It'd be pretty scary to watch on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And this definitely, I've been recommending it to people who haven't seen it, that I've talked to about this coming up on our Halloween special, and I've encouraged them all to watch it beforehand. But no, yeah, I don't think I'll be going back to it unless it's a situation where no one's seen it and they're like, oh, you want to be creeped out by a Disney movie? Then let's watch this one.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's fun to talk about. I'll say that.
You know, it's funny. Like for me, I wish it was just all in Oz for one thing, but the stuff outside of Oz is what I really remember. I mean, obviously I remember the heads, but I remember just like the sanatorium and all of that stuff. I just remember really well. So, and like talking to the doctor, and it's just all this stuff. Like I remember, I mean, like, and then looking back on it, it's like, that is such a weird thing to make a movie about. So for me, like reading the books as I have, it was cool to kind of spot all the stuff. But man, it's like, why in the heck would you set that tone? I mean, it just says so much again about the time it was made, I guess. Yes. It's just so bizarre.
Well, I mean, it does fit with, like, you think about like Neverending Story, where everybody's just a jerk to the kid. Like his dad's a jerk. Everybody's just a jerk in all these movies to kids. And, but you know, you think about as a kid watching this movie, if you've seen the first movie, and like the last thing you want to do is, like, everybody's really just patronizing and awful to Dorothy in the real world. Like, oh, Oz, your little delusions about, it's just a dream, I told you. And like, nobody wants to see people like slam on Dorothy like that.
And Dorothy's actually a boss.
Yeah, she's great.
I was reading that they had asked for a much bigger budget, and they were going to shoot all the Oz scenes, like I can't remember which country it was going to be, like Romania or somewhere.
Yeah, so in like more sort of exotic places. Yeah,
and then they had to do it on sound stages in England instead, and ended up shooting the whole movie in England. Yeah, I wonder what would have happened. And also, I mean, it raises a good point. If they'd given this over to Tim Burton, what could he have done with it? So, of course, he was
giant worm would have come out of the sandy desert.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Andy would rather watch Herbie Goes Bananas.
Yes, I would. I would much rather watch Herbie Goes Bananas.
Herbie lore is starting to climb the ladder here. I mean,
no, I don't. I'm not saying Herbie. I'm not saying I like Herbie's Goes Bananas. I'm saying I'd rather watch it than this.
You're saying you wish there was a scene where Mombi had glasses, and they're like, "No, take them off. Oh, now you're way prettier."
That stupid song that Paco sings about being friends, about friendship.
Betcha.
Banana manana.
Yeah, a banana manana. That's true.
Yeah, all of that.
Maybe they needed a song like that in this movie.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh my gosh.
This came out 3 years after Herbie Goes Bananas. So
Or 5.
That is something to think about, man. Just 5-year difference, man. Yeesh.
Man.
Time does fly.
Any closing thoughts before we close the book?
I don't know. I was amazed and remain amazed.
Yes, it is a spectacle for sure.
Yeah.
it would have been interesting to rate it because I think it would have gotten high marks in the production value.
Oh, for sure.
And
What a time when like the amount of different disciplines you would use for special effects. It's just staggering. What all they're doing. Now you just do it all with the computer.
Yeah.
And I'll say for me though, the art direction of it, while it was jarring because, again, coming in thinking that it's like the first movie, if I had been a little bit more informed and just had a better sense of what I was going to be watching, I think I'd have enjoyed that part more because it was cool. I mean, there were some genuine, really like interesting ideas. I mean, the Wheeler stuff is creepy, but still it's a lot of the stuff that they did with, like you said, TikTok and just, even the Gnome King and all that kind of stuff. And it was just, there was a lot of really interesting ideas that they were coming with. And you could have, I don't know, it feels like it'd be interesting to see The Wizard of Oz, the first movie, done with this art style. And I would
that
like to
would
see
be
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
The idea is you're right about how to like portray the Gnome King. It's just fascinating. It's just they keep doing different things. It's neat.
This was a discussion I was having the other day with someone about Tron, about like the new Trons versus the original Tron. And like nowadays you just use a computer and it looks like people got on a soundstage and they got blue screened into like CGI set, whatever. In the original Tron, it's like 50 different techniques all at once. And so you have no idea how anything happened. And that's kind of how I feel about this, is like the headless Mombi scenes. It's like if somebody explained it to you, you could be like, oh, well, it's a composite and this and that. But they use so many different things that it's just like, oh my gosh, how does it all fit together?
Pretty incredible.
In this age where we've seen reboots and retooling of IP that were classics, I mean, to do like a Christopher Nolan reboot of Oz would be interesting. I think it might be accepted to start with the Wizard of Oz and stick to the book, like they tried to do with this one, and see how. I mean, for me, I think it would be interesting. I would watch it.
I'm always
wondering what would happen if they did that Oz Great and Powerful, and they were going to have Robert Downey Jr. do it, and they had James Franco do it instead. That was an interesting thing to think about. What could have happened if Robert Downey Jr. would have been Oz? Could have been a franchise,
That to me, like totally.
I'd forgotten all about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it till after on watching this on Disney Plus. It came up after. It was like, you may also want to watch Oz the Great and Powerful. I'm like, I don't think I do. But that movie would have been a completely different movie if it had been Robert Downey Jr. instead of friggin' James Franco.
I've not seen the Wicked franchise.
I have not seen the Wicked either.
So I don't know how that plays into this either. I mean,
that's where Glinda was. That's why she wasn't in this
movie.
She's
busy
writing her Broadway musical.
She was on Broadway. I'm a star.
I've had people who understand cinema tell me that Wicked is way up there.
Oh, yeah. People friggin' love Wicked.
People love it, but it's so long.
Yeah.
It's like insanely long.
There are two of them.
There's two of them now. Yeah.
And they sing. And I
echo what Robert said. I am surprised. And for a long time, I've been surprised that nobody has, now that they're all public domain now, so anybody could do it, to try and make a sort of more book accurate series of these things. Because, I mean, now that people are used to, compared to like the Marvel universe, but I mean, people are used to following characters over the course of movies and movies and movies. which is what the books are like. It's just like chapters in a continuing story. So I'm surprised nobody's tried it.
But instead of a movie, I could see this being like an Amazon series.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Amazon, you Andy spoke. Make
You
it
have our
happen.
number. Yeah.
You can send the
please
check
just
to.
Well, actually, Robert, how would Amazon get in touch with us if they wanted to?
Well, Jeff, I'm glad you asked that. So, Amazon, if you decide to reach out to us, you can find us at info@bedfieldfilm.com. And we're still waiting. Somebody has not. We've had many guesses on what the nuclear option is going to be, and nobody's landed it yet. I'm surprised.
You want to give me like a couple of them that people have guessed?
Midnight Madness has come up.
Yeah.
Which is a good guess. That is a very good guess.
What was I have to go back and look. Midnight Madness has come up twice.
Yeah.
And I've
Very
chuckled
good
at both
guess.
of them. I'm like, yeah, everything I've heard, that movie could very well break all of us.
All of you.
Yeah.
It will destroy
Nuclear for
all of you.
So say
Not just
we all.
Andy. That we would all be collateral damage on that one. I mean, we're still out there on social media. We're not as active as we used to be, but
I've had requests for people. I've had people ask.
well, I need to reach back out to our listener who offered to manage our social media and say, hey, if you do it for free, it's yours. But unfortunately, times are tough, and we can't afford to pay you. But
We have our lucky number one dime, though.
it's true.
Well, I think it's time to bring back a tradition in our podcast of actually doing a preview of what is next.
Yes.
Something we haven't done. It's overflowed from Touchstone where we just won't say what we're doing. You care to reveal to our listeners what's coming down the pipe?
So, yeah, certainly. And if you thought this was dark, we're not going to get any brighter coming up. And the next one is it's on the in that fringe area. Ron Miller had his handprints on this next movie, but it wasn't quite a Ron Miller movie. But we're going to do it anyway, and it's we always do an animated movie here in this slot, and it is The Black Cauldron. And I have not seen this one since I saw it in the theaters.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen it in
Nice.
a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me, too. A long, long time.
My sister and I went by ourselves. My parents dropped us
80s.
off.
Yeah.
And
PG, man.
it's the 80s. And the two of us went and watched The Black Cauldron alone. And I remember walking out going, whoa, that was weird. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how I feel about it. I've had a lot of people say they really like it and how dark it was and that there was some risks they took. So
It was a risk-taking time. Man, that and this are a heck of a 1-2 punch back-to-back. That is some deep late period Ron Miller
Yes. This bird's of a
swinging for the
feather.
fences stuff.
I don't want to give away too much, but maybe it's where my mind is at the moment. But there's some dark movies coming down the pipes.
Yes.
we're not done watching disturbingly dark films.
Hard times for these times.
So,
Can't wait.
all right, guys, check out the new show art from our next episode.
Nice. I noticed we've not had any for the past few episodes.
Oh, wow. This looks great. Todd has really outdone himself this time.
Yeah, I like how he's cropped the movie poster down and added our show logo.
Yeah, it took him a while, but he came through for us. Usually Todd and I exchange a few texts back, about what I'm after, and he sends me a final version. But I was traveling last week through his neck of the woods and thought, I'll drop by his studio to see him.
Ah, yes. Nothing like watching a master of his craft at work.
I always wondered what Binden Graphic Studios was like.
I like to imagine it's like the early days of the Disney studio with creatives all around producing next level works of art.
That's exactly what it was like 6 years ago when I was there last. But it's taken a strange turn. I'm worried about Todd. He's changed.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, he's moved the studio into a new building that was previously occupied by this crazy taxidermist.
What?
Yeah, the guy just disappeared, and the owner leased the building out to Todd, but it still has all this really bizarre taxidermy work in there.
Like what?
Well, there was this strange moose head dyed green with black antlers, and it had a pink nose and was attached to the side of a couch.
That's oddly like the logo on Todd's website.
What else?
The place was all decorated for Halloween with grotesque jack-o'-lanterns and the word mom carved into the side.
Oh, yuck.
But the business must be doing well because he had this AI receptionist that looked like steampunk Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes Wilford Brimley?
Yeah, but it kept having problems and had to be constantly reset or something. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's all definitely strange and creepy, but what did you mean when you said Todd has changed? I mean, as long as I've known him, he's always been a really nice guy. So what's different about him?
He just seemed off, I don't know if it's the leftover taxidermy glue fumes or what, but he's developed a fear of chickens.
Yeah, okay, but that's not that weird.
But not just that. I mean, he drinks this stuff called hot melted silver.
Oh, is that new liquid death stuff?
And he also walks around wearing ruby red slippers and insists I address him as Your Majesty.
Are you serious?
It was weird. And that's not all of it. There were so many other things that I thought were strange. But, how those creative types are, it's.
Yeah, he sure is one heck of a graphic artist. Look at those fonts.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Todd Naprek at Binding Graphic Solutions. That's BYDANDgraphics.com. You can also find him on Upworks.
So get your Gurgi's treats out of the freezer. It's going to be Black Cauldron time when we convene next. Wishing you all a happy Halloween from all of us to all of you. We'll see you next time. So long, everyone.
Medfield College of Technology, and while we hold your banner high, rock, rock, we shout your praises to the sky, rock, rock, for proud are we of mighty Medfield, loyally we cheer.